Hey everyone, I'm with John Barry, and we've had a wonderful time working on his book together. It is exciting to be at the end of the process. How are you doing, John?
Good, good. 99% there.
Why don't you tell them a little bit about what you do?
Well, I was 30 years in the Air Force as a fighter pilot and retired as a two-star general. And then I was head of Aurora Public Schools in Colorado for 7 years, then ran a Boys and Girls Club here in the Colorado area for Denver metro area for 3 years, and then just finished retiring as the CEO of a Wings Over Rockies Air and Space Museum.
What is one unexpected benefit you got out of doing this book?
Well, I guess the real focus of this book for me will be, maybe being able to promote it, but also to have open options to be able to get be a consultant. So this is something that I can lay out. People can see more than just what you might see on a website or Facebook or something like that. And then if they like what they see, it'll open up an opportunity for a conversation, and maybe a conversation opens up to another avenue where I'll be able to not only provide the book, but also give, person to person, conversations and advice on how the success we made in our school district with tremendous poverty and with an incredible amount of diversity, with 120 languages representing 140 countries. There's only 192 countries in the world, according to UN. So it gave, I think, a pretty unique perspective of being non-traditional and then be able to work in that kind of environment and have a successful outcome with some tremendous teammates.
Before we started working together, you had been working on the book for a long time and even had another coach or editor work on it. How long have you been working on the book prior to us working together?
Well, I think I started working on it about 2015, so it's been almost 10 years. But it's, in between jobs and other jobs I had, now I finally have been able to concentrate on it. So I appreciate the advice you provided me, and a little bit about focus and keeping my eye on the ball. And that went a long way to be able to help me finish this thing.
Now we're in 2025 here. What does it mean to you personally to be about at the finish line here?
Well, everybody's got a book in mind, I think everybody's got that idea. But to actually, pretty much get it done, get something on paper that really hopefully will benefit folks. The focus of it, the book clearly is how to transform school superintendents in their ability to maximize student achievement and be able to raise the ability for kids to have options in the future. So having been a superintendent for 7 years, this allowed me to be able to put that story on paper, and hopefully it'll benefit future generations.
In line with that, what do you think this book means for you in terms of your legacy?
Well, I'm hoping more than my kids read it. So, but the bottom line is, you want to leave your mark, and you certainly want to make it better than you found it. And when you go through life, as long as I have, you picked up a few things here and there. So this will be an attempt to provide on paper, a little bit of those stories, but also for the fact that, I had a unique perspective being a non-traditional educator for 7 years, especially coming out of the military. But the lessons learned that I had were able to be translated into what I did to the school district. We had a great team. You can't do anything without a team. It's never an I, it's a we. And that allowed me to be able to make that transition.
So you've been working on this book since 2015. Then you hired another coach during that process before you hired me. What was unique about our experience together that helped you get over the hump?
Well, I didn't really get much out of the first one. It was more, the person gave me a couple of emails and, never really met face to face. And so, meeting you face to face and be able to discuss it made a big difference. So I appreciate that.
And what was most helpful about our work together?
Well, I think it's your experience, when I'm putting things on paper and said, well, this doesn't really allow for a good transition, this is a better way to maybe present it, organize the chapters a little better, making sure that I was focused on how I'm making the presentation, and balance between telling stories and actually having data, to present. That was a good suggestion, so I appreciate that.
Last question. How do you think the book would have turned out if you hadn't sought help for it?
Well, I think you, one thing you learn is you know what you know and you know what you don't know, and there's a lot to be learned in this regard. So it really was, I think, an exercise in labor, love, and then be able to make sure that you listen to some good people like yourself to be able to keep you on the track. And I think that goes a long way for the future. Maybe an opportunity for a second book.
Thank you so much. Excited for the second book, and until then.
Okay.